Konnichiwa minasan! Gayatori desu. I hope all of you are ready for today's session. In the previous video, we explored the fascinating highlights of Japan and the tough mindset of the Japanese people. Today, I'll specifically be talking about the Japanese language. Before we dive directly into the Japanese language, I would like to tell you an extremely polite and humble side of the Japanese culture. The culture of discipline and respect in Japan also creates a safe and secure environment for us to find it surprising in today's modern times. People keep others in mind and act instead of thinking just about themselves. In a busy store or restaurant, if you happen to forget any of your belongings, you'll find it at the exact same place or in safe custody with the person in charge. The signboards or directed instructions are very well obeyed as they believe that cooperation is the key towards cultivating a healthy nation. The way of life in Japan has people making it so easy that they consciously and subconsciously do the right thing, making day-to-day life much easier and stress-free for others. This can be seen in every aspect, right from their services offered to duties performed. They have a sense of respect for their nation, which is why they work towards maintaining harmony and peace with the people and their nation. People respect their elders in the families and even in professional business relations. They are humble and polite towards their seniors. Their mindfulness in every way is a fantastic example for us to learn and take a lot from. Something as small as a business card, for example, is offered to people using both hands. This is one of the ways of being extremely polite. Another example to give is pretty simple when it comes to merely saying it, but might seem challenging for most of the adults around us to practice in real life. That is, waiting patiently in the queue. The Japanese are known to have mastered the art of patience and discipline. Their attitude of gratitude is also a valuable lesson to learn from. They bow towards their customers, elders, seniors, depending on their social status, experience, or age. The station masters even bow towards the trains out of gratefulness and respect. Now, when we talk about such royalty in the culture of Japan, understanding the whys of certain expression through their language will only make it easier to understand. Every little thing they do holds a great importance, be it a small greeting to somebody in a particular manner or all the social etiquettes. Now, when we talk about such royalty in the culture of Japan, understanding the whys of certain expressions through their language will only make it easier to understand. Every little thing they do holds a great importance, be it a small greeting to somebody in a particular manner or all the social etiquettes. They are followed diligently. In a culture where society is highly valued and so also the elders, superiors and those with a higher status, it reflects in the language, their way of greeting and treating others. They offer social gratitude, religious gratitude, salutations and apologies to people with a traditional bow, which is called ojigi. Instead of shaking hands with the person, the Japanese have their unique way of showing deep respect with discipline and gratitude. They bow. Certain times, people would bow very slightly where the situations are a bit casual. For example, a 15-degree bow as shown in the picture. Certain times, people would bow very slightly where the situations are a bit casual. For example, a 15-degree bow as shown in the picture. However, in formal or business settings, they bow a little deeper or do a 30-degree bow, indicating the formal the situation, the deeper the bow. In a situation where you are extremely sorry or extremely grateful or thankful, the 45-degree bow is done given that the situation is formal than the previous. During public apologies, when somebody is extremely sorry for something, a 90-degree bow that goes deeper than the previous one is done. In Japanese language, there are three types of formal languages, or what we call in Japanese as keigo. The first type of keigo is the sonkeigo. It's a formal type of keigo that is used when formally talking to elders with those of a higher social status or authority. These are very respectful expressions and are extremely polite. In formal settings like job interviews, business meetings, conversations with the elderly or higher authority, this type of keigo must be used. The second type of keigo is the kenjogo. These are the humble expressions you use when speaking to someone. This type of keigo shows respect to the one you're talking to, that of a higher status or authority, at the same time humbling yourself down. The third type of keigo is the teinego. The polite expressions are teinego. This is the most standard and commonly used level of politeness in Japan. When speaking to someone on a daily basis, for example, with a tenant, a neighbor, worker, or someone you barely know, this is the appropriate form of keigo to be used, as this sounds more neutral in the impression and the overall tone. By using the appropriate level of formality in Japanese, greetings and conversations, we can demonstrate respect for the other person, and it will help us build strong relations. There is another form of casual language called the kudaketa nihongo. Kudaketa is informal or casual and nihongo is Japanese. This is used with close friends and family members. This type of Japanese is used commonly when people are younger than you, or it is used with children. Okay guys, that's it for today. I hope you got some idea about the Japanese way of offering respect. A quick exciting fact I'd like to share about the Japanese bowing. Today, bowing is an action that conveys respect, gratitude and apology to the other person. But initially, the Japanese people began to bow when Buddhism was introduced to Japan from China. In those days, bowing was a sign of status, which means that those who greeted people of a higher status would show themselves in a lower position to indicate that they were not a threat to the other person. Alright, that's it for today. Do not miss the next segment, which is going to be the different expressions in Japanese language. I'll see you later. Minna mata aimashou. Bye bye.